Let's talk about the bed. You know the feeling. It's 2 p.m. or maybe it's 10 a.m. The time doesn't really matter anymore. You are staring at the ceiling. The shadows dance across the plaster and you feel heavy. Not just physically heavy, but a gravitational pull inside your chest that pins you to the mattress. The world outside is moving. Cars are driving. People are working, laughing, achieving. And you are paralyzed. There's a word that whispers in the back of your mind. A cruel, sharp word. Lazy. You tell yourself, I am just lazy. I need to try harder. I am useless. But there's a darker truth hiding behind that exhaustion. A truth that psychology has only recently begun to fully unmask. You are not refusing to move because you are flawed. You are refusing to move because your engine is broken. We often mistake the smoke of a burning building for fog. You aren't lazy. You are burning out, and your soul is screaming for help in the only language it has left, silence. Today, we are going to walk through the 6 shadows of burnout. If you see yourself in this mirror, I need you to listen closely, because this isn't about productivity. This is about survival. The first sign is the most terrifying, because it feels like madness. It is a sensation of becoming a ghost in your own life. Psychologists call this depersonalization, but let's call it what really feels like, the autopilot. Do you remember driving somewhere and arriving without remembering the journey? Now, imagine that feeling applied to your entire life. You wake up, you brush your teeth, you speak to people, but you aren't really there. It feels like you are watching a movie of your life, played by an actor who looks just like you, but their eyes are dead. You feel a strange numbness, a hollow void where your emotions used to be. Laziness feels like a choice to rest. This feels like being trapped behind a sheet of thick glass. You are banging on the glass, screaming to feel something, anything, but the world remains muffled in gray. If you feel detached from reality, if you feel like a stranger in your own skin, you are not lazy. Your mind has engaged an emergency shut-off valve to protect you from trauma. You are disassociating to survive. Let's look at your past. This is a smoking gun. Laziness, true laziness, is a personality trait. It is consistent. A truly lazy person is often quite happy about it. They enjoy doing nothing. They have never felt the burning desire to conquer the world. But you weren't always this way. Remember who you used to be. Maybe a year ago, maybe 5. You were the high achiever, the perfectionist, the one who stayed late, the one who cared too much, the one who carried the weight of the world on their shoulders. You ran on high-octane fuel. That is the tragedy of burnout. It does not strike the weak. It hunts the strong. It targets the people who give everything until they have nothing left to give. If you look at your current state, this apathy, this exhaustion, and it scares you because it is so unlike who you truly are, that is the proof. You are not a lazy person. You are a high-performance machine that was run at maximum speed without maintenance for too long. The engine didn't fail because it was bad. It failed because it was used too hard. There's a distinct bitterness to burnout that laziness does not have. Think about the things you used to love. Maybe it was painting or coding or the gym or even just watching movies. These things used to spark a light in your eyes. They gave you energy. Now, think about doing them. Will you feel? If you are burnout, you don't just feel indifference. You feel resentment. You hate the things you used to love. Why? Because those passions demanded energy from you, and you have no energy left to give. It's like a lover who demanded too much until love turned into specialized hate. You avoid your hobbies not because you don't care, but because they remind you of a time when you were alive. They are painful reminders of what you have lost. Laziness is simply preferring to do nothing. Burnout is a tragic grief of losing your ability to enjoy the things that made you you. Have you noticed the rage? It sits just beneath the surface. Someone asks you a simple question. What do you want for dinner? Or, can you help me with this? And you snap. You feel a sudden, blinding flash of anger. Then, moments later, the guilt washes over you. You look at the people you love, and you feel like a monster. You think, why am I so mean? Why can't I control myself? This is not a character flaw. This is a biological warning siren. When you are burnout, your nervous system is trapped in a fight or flight state. You are constantly scanning for threats. Your emotional capacity is a cup that is already overflowing. One more drop, one tiny question, causes it to spill over. Lazy people are often laid back. They are unbothered. They go with the flow. If you are snapping, crying for no reason, or feeling wildly out of control with your emotions, you are not lazy. You are a wounded animal backed into a corner, lashing out because you are in pain. Look around your room. Look at your desk. Look at yourself. When the mind collapses, the environment follows. Perhaps the dishes are piling up. The laundry is a mountain in the corner. Maybe you haven't showered in 2 days, or you're eating junk food just because you can't summon the energy to cook. You are isolating yourself, pulling away from friends, ignoring text messages for days. This is the darkest part of the psychology of burnout. It is a slow decay of self-preservation. You are so exhausted from just existing, from just trying to keep your thoughts in order, that basic tasks feel like climbing Mount Everest. Taking a shower feels like a marathon. Answering a text message feels like defusing a bomb. Society points at the messy room and says, "Look how lazy they are." But psychology looks at the messy room and says, "Look how much pain they are in." You have stopped taking care of yourself because you no longer believe, subconsciously, that you are worth the effort. It is a form of self-abandonment. And this leads us to a shadow that lazy people never see. We need to talk about what happens when you actually try to stop. This is the guilt paradox. Think about a truly lazy person. When they lie on the couch to watch TV, they are happy. They are relaxed. They enjoy the inactivity. Their conscience is clear. But what happens when you lie down? You don't feel peace. You feel panic. You are lying physically still, but your mind is running a marathon of shame. A voice in your head whispers, "You should be working. You are wasting time. You are falling behind." This is the cruelest irony of burnout. You are too exhausted to work, but you are too anxious to rest. You are trapped in a limbo of non-productivity. You aren't recovering. You are just vibrating with anxiety in a horizontal position. This poison rest is the ultimate proof. Laziness is an enjoyment of leisure. Burnout is the inability to escape the pressure. Even when you're doing nothing, you are not choosing to be still. You are being held hostage by your own depleted battery. Finally, we must understand how we got here. Laziness is a state of being. Burnout is a destination. You arrived here, and you didn't arrive here overnight. This is a frog in boiling water effect. It started with a honeymoon phase, when you took on that new job or project, full of energy. Then came the onset of stress, the late nights, the skipping lunch, the subtle anxiety. Then chronic stress, where the pressure became your new normal. You forgot what it felt like to be relaxed. Then came the burnout. And finally, where you might be right now, habitual burnout. This is the stage where the exhaustion is woven into your DNA. It is where the sadness feels permanent. It is where you start to wonder if you will ever feel okay again. The difference between laziness and burnout is history. Laziness has no history. Burnout is the final chapter of a tragic story of trying too hard for too long. If you have listened this far, and if your chest feels tight because these words describe your reality, I have one message for you, and I need you to really hear it. You are not broken. You are simply empty. There's a vast difference. A broken machine is useless and thrown away. An empty machine just needs fuel. But you cannot refuel a car while it is still driving down the highway at 100 miles an hour. The world will tell you to push through. The hustle culture will tell you to grind, to wake up earlier, to fight harder. Ignore them. That is the voice that put you in this bed. That is the voice that turned your passion into ash. You need to do the hardest thing possible for a high achiever. You need to surrender. You need to accept that the version of you that could do everything is gone for now. And that is okay. You are mourning the loss of your energy, and grief takes time. Recovery from burnout is not a straight line. It is a slow, messy reconstruction. It requires you to speak to a professional, to a therapist, someone who can help you navigate this fog. It requires you to learn the word no. Recognizing that this is burnout and not laziness is the first step of the cure. It allows you to drop the heavy stone of guilt you've been carrying. It allows you to look in the mirror and say, I am not failing, I am healing. Stop beating yourself up for being injured. You wouldn't yell at a runner with a broken leg for not running fast enough. Why are you yelling at your own mind? Treat yourself with the compassion you would give to a stranger. If you know someone wandering through this fog, share this with them. Be the light in their darkness. And for yourself, close your eyes, take a breath. You will come back from this. The fire will return. But for now, just rest.